There we go. Howdy, 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 and welcome back to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. And welcome back to Stargate Outpost.
Hello.
Oh, no. Am I already janky?
Hey, at least anyway, I think you're okay.
Can you hear everything all right and see everything
everything
okay?
sounds fine. It's just a little jerky, but you sound all right.
Let me see if maybe I can do my little wraith thing. Is that okay? Yeah. We'll see if that works for a second there.
Sure.
All right. Well, if y'all can't notice, there are technical difficulties this morning, and we are trying our best to get through them.
Yep.
The internet is working, but not working for computers, but it's working for a cell phone, so we're trying our best.
That's true. Harrison and Seattle.
That's right. Little did we know this was our
show. Yeah.
This is Stargate Outpost, not Infinity.
Yeah.
We have to rename the Infinity Show Outpost just for us.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. Fingers crossed. Still janky. Well,
a little bit. We can hear you. Okay?
We'll get back into it in a little bit.
Still, then nobody will notice.
I'm standing up, so I'm going to be moving around like a madman for half this thing. Well, okay. All that being said, everybody in chat, how many of y'all were able to at least watch a little bit of Stargate Infinity or possibly watch it in its entirety like we did?
Yeah, I finished it 10 minutes before we came.
Yeah. I was about 20 minutes before, and then the 5 minutes until we were sprinting to figure out the technology was trying to figure out cat litter for a little bit. Yeah. And it's one of those mornings, you know?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I've had a little bit of that myself, running around.
It's the middle of the week, you know.
Yeah.
Infinity-wise, I made it to the 5th episode so far. Nice, Alex. Nice.
Yeah.
If you had to give it your personal 0 out of 10, actually, let's do that at the very end after we've discussed it a little bit.
Okay.
Was it as much of a bore and trying to trudge through it as we initially thought, or as you initially thought?
No. I mean, there was some moments where it was like, okay, but it wasn't horrible. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Now, my follow-up question.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually right there with you. But my thought with that was, are we in that thought process? Because the last thing we watched was Origins Catherine, and now maybe anything's a little bit better, or does this have merit to a degree, you think?
Well, it's to me, it comes across as like if this like an early 90s sci-fi cartoon for kids, because the animation is not great for 2002. It feels very much like a 1994 cartoon, you know?
Oh yeah.
So it has that vibe to it, and I think if it was in that time, it would be much better. But it's for 2002, not good. You know, just the animation was not great.
That's a good point. Isn't Infinity set a few decades after the show or something? Technically, Infinity is set somewhere in the 2025 and 2030 timeline.
Right. Well, I had the Wikipedia pulled up, and it says 30 years in the future. So
like 27.
Do they say that ever in the show? I don't remember them ever saying it was in the future on the show. Maybe I just missed it, but
I never heard them once say that. So mentally and canonically in my head, or my head canon, there we go, is this show's like 200 years in the future. And maybe we've lost a lot of the history that we've had, and maybe some of the capabilities we've had, and we still have some capabilities. That's what I'm trying to put it in there. Yeah.
But I really 30 years, which 30 years would be like now.
Yeah.
I don't think we've advanced that much.
Well, because it depends if they're going off of Stargate the film or SG-1, because if it was SG-1, it'd be 97. If it was Stargate the film, it would have been last year.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So
either way, it's right around this time, and it's like we haven't advanced that much in 30 years, I don't think.
No. I guess there's not a whole bunch of advancement actually happening in the series, but nonetheless, it's totally different than what we're used to. I want some jetpacks and some Stargate. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. But I mean, it's definitely like Stargate in name only kind of show. I mean, there's
And
Stargatey things in there, but yeah.
that's about it. What? No, I guess there are more things in there. Just very not sporadic, but I guess they're much more conceptual. Like
Yeah.
one of the things I did really appreciate is the Tlacon, the bad guys.
Tlacan, yeah.
They're
Tlacan.
they're like Mayan. They're supposed to be something off of that kind of base. They look like giant gargoyles, but they're
Yeah, that's
supposed.
what I first thought of too. Wasn't there a I never watched it, but wasn't there a cartoon series, Gargoyles or something?
Oh, and it's
Like,
one of the best cartoon series you might ever watch too.
oh, okay. I've never seen I mean, I've seen bits of it to kind of know what it is, but I haven't ever watched it. But that's what it made me think of was that cartoon.
Oh, 1,000%. I just wish it were the same quality.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah. I mean, I liked the fact that it had a through storyline. You know what I mean? Like there was a monster of the week, but it was always that Talak Khan story thread through the whole thing, them chasing Draga. So I liked that there was that consistency through it.
Hmm.
It was good, I thought. Um,
Yeah, I thought so as well. The I liked that it was Monster of the Week, but it was almost more, or it was just as much Lesson of the Week. Like, it's a children's
oh
show,
yeah,
so they're trying to
yeah.
teach you that lesson per week. Now, where this show has some faults, there are a few. The lessons I didn't think were all that great.
No, it's
They
like typical little kid stuff. Yeah.
and it's done in some really stupid ways.
Oh,
Like the thing that the one that really sticks out to me, and it was because I had like 4 people over at the house yesterday, and I was just putting Stargate Infinity on the background the entire time, and everybody was just looking at me like, "What are you doing? This is awful."
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I was like, I got to. So
yeah.
while having it on in the background and everything,
Mhm.
one of the episodes that came on that everybody did kind of get sucked into just to see kind of what it was for a little bit was the one with where everybody goes diamond crazy for a bit, and they find all
Oh
those
yeah.
diamonds.
Hmm.
The episode literally tells you, "Oh yes, you don't." All the greed did this to them, and the greed killed all the other
Yeah,
people, and all these bad things. And
yeah.
then what is the way they get out of that episode? Do you remember?
Oh God, no. I mean, watching them back to back to back. I don't remember. Oh, they
I,
had to give the diamonds to the bounty hunter dude or whatever to
all
let
they
Draga go, and yeah, it was like they wanted to keep all the diamonds, and it was like, oh, to get Draga back, they had to give up the wealth or whatever.
So the lesson
But
about greed was pay off the bad guys so you can be all right, rather than it was every lesson had something like that though, and it was just that
yeah,
epitomized the show for me. It was
yeah,
like, all right,
yeah,
we have a good idea,
right. And
and we're not going to do it.
yeah, it's like very much like, okay, now here's like lesson time, and it was like this obvious like little segment about what the moral of the story is or whatever. I thought it was like that's so like a 90s cartoon thing too.
It felt so
Have it that
90s.
obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other lesson that did pop up over and over again, which did crack me up, was, and it made it feel even more 90s, was
Right.
tattoos are bad. No tattoos. Express yourself in other
Oh
ways.
yeah.
I was like, come
Yeah, I just
on,
watched that
y'all.
one. I just cracked up at that of like, really? We're going there? Like tattoos were like wasn't the 90s when the whole tattoo thing started getting momentum, and it's like but they were talking like, oh, that's like a fad that's gonna go away. Like, no,
well,
wasn't.
well, old Major Gus Bonner is such a history buff and history nerd.
Yes.
Does he not remember that the vast majorities of indigenous peoples on this planet have tattoos or have like some kind of system of it? Like, you think that
Right,
would be important to them just from the character basis of what they lay out? Like,
right. Hmm. Yeah, like that one episode where they found that history museum that had the
Napoleon
hand-carved
and
Caesar.
Caesar.
Yes, I actually kind of liked that episode. It was funny. But anyway.
It
was
felt
just
like Night at the
sad.
Museum for Stargate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And I guess it was years before. Maybe that's what inspired Ben Stiller to write Night at the Museum. Or excuse me, was it Sean Levy? Whoever did it.
yeah.
Uh, I don't know. One of our favorite things to do is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Do you have a good, bad, and ugly for Stargate Infinity?
The good was, like I mentioned before, the through line of the Talak Khan chasing them and trying to get Draga. I thought that was good. The bad was some of the stupid little, moral of the story things that were
Yeah.
so contrived and obvious and sometimes didn't really quite make sense. It was like, okay, we have to come up with something for this episode that felt like that sometimes. The
Oh
ugly
yeah.
was the animation. Just
Oh,
like the animation was like 10 years out of date. Yeah.
and
Uh,
I guess. Oh, I wish I had my computer to actually Google stuff on. Somebody in chat, if you don't mind looking up what year was Stargate Infinity.
it was 2002.
Oh, okay. Well then, right.
I got the Wikipedia page pulled up here. So it
I,
was 2002, 2003.
if it was during that time
Yeah.
period, I would have given it a little leeway if it was 2010, 2011, even though that would have been like 20 years out of date animation wise.
Right.
It at least
Mhm.
would have been at the tail end of MGM really panning out Stargate and trying its best to keep it going.
Mhm.
Where 2002 is like peak SG1. That's season 5.
Yeah.
That's right as we're getting moving.
Yeah,
And they bring us this.
it was on Fox. It was on Fox. Was it like a Saturday morning Fox kids cartoon thing? Maybe, I don't know. But that's weird that it was on Fox.
Yeah. I get what
Yeah.
MGM, what channel were they usually on? Oh, Sci-Fi, duh.
Yeah, and 2002 is the first year they were on Sci-Fi Channel, I believe.
That is odd. I mean, it's 10
Yeah.
years out of date. It's peak Stargate,
Mhm.
timeline-wise. So it should have had a better budget, should have had some better momentum
Yeah.
behind it.
Like I was saying, if this was made in like the early 90s and it was like a sci-fi cartoon for kids, it'd be fine. But it's like out of time or something.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'll agree with you on the ugly for the animation for 1,000%.
Mhm.
Um, bad. What'd you say bad was again?
The moral stories.
Oh,
The
yes,
moral
yes.
story.
The other bad I'll give it was it's particularly with it supposedly being I'm doing my big old air quotes right now, or supposedly being 30 years off from the finding of the Stargate.
Mhm.
It doesn't have any adherence to any canon that we know
Yeah.
of. And if this was 2002, they specifically should have said, okay, well, we know who the ancients are, but we don't know a whole lot about them. Maybe let's explore more of that.
Yeah.
Or, like we said earlier, make it like 200 years in the future and have some kind of like setback happen or something or the other.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
That's what I would say would be bad. The good, though, is adherence to the lore in a different way. I like that they utilized a lot of. I feel like this was almost Stargate in the eyes of Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich, more so than it was like Brad Wright and everybody else.
Yeah, and I was wondering, I thought of that earlier because they never use the word gold, which
There's
was
no Goulds,
yeah, there's like
Unas,
a minor, like I think Gus, is that his name? The general or the
Gus
leader?
Bonner.
Yeah, Gus. Like he mentioned something, I think when they were analyzing the chrysalis, like he mentioned something like, "Oh, I've seen those worm things before," or whatever. Like there's a
Yeah.
vague reference to it. So I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
wonder if like they couldn't use that. Like it was a separate, but it seems like I wonder if it was one of those weird things where like if it was like Dean Devlin's camp couldn't use it because it was like the Brad Wright camp is the one that came up with it because there is no Gould in the movie or anything.
Yeah, that's a good point. The big question that would come into that is,
Mhm.
could they use ancient or ancients or I guess maybe they
Yeah.
always say the
Oh,
ancient.
that's true.
So, but also that could just be a vague enough word where it's not,
Right.
you know, something to like hold your hat on production wise.
Right.
I don't know. It's so odd. I'm gonna try to
Mhm.
do video one more time. We'll see. Uh,
Then if Draga is an ancient or not, you know?
which we
Kind of a
never
cool
figure out.
being, and then she does they do go to that planet where she meets others that are like her, but it doesn't
Which
really answer that question.
it answers that she's not an ancient in my mind, but
Yeah, that's what I thought it said, and then later on, they're like, "Maybe she's an ancient again." I mean, it's like the Talat Khan or whatever, like, they believe she's an ancient still. They totally believe it, but, uh,
which I don't know why. It's it,
yeah.
it's literally just an egg or a chrysalis that hatches out of stuff, and I guess
Right, 'cause there's a shapeshifter dude, like, sees that they
Nephestus,
find it. Yeah, and
because
he,
he names himself 5 freaking times.
yeah, Nephestus. Um, I mean, the shapeshifter thing was kinda cool, but
It
I guess
was.
it's because they found that sarcophagus that had the statue in it wrapped as a mummy, and so I think, um, Nephestus or whatever his name is thought that must be something ancient. So I think he told the Talat Khan, like, "Oh, this could be, like, an ancient thing," which I guess the humans thought that too, but, um,
Totally.
yeah,
You just think that I know Dakil wasn't necessarily the smartest of evil bad guy leaders, but
no.
he at least had enough head on him, or had
Yeah.
enough head on his shoulders to think about. Well, maybe, just maybe, that could just be a big old butterfly. Like,
Yeah, she's just that species of alien, which I thought when they went to that planet, that kind of answered it, but of course, the Talat Khan wouldn't believe that's true because they didn't see it, but, yeah, and what were the Talat Khan why they just wanted to have an ancient to get power? I wasn't real clear on why they wanted the ancient so bad.
I mean, I'm
But,
guessing some of that would have been laid out in season 2, but also
yeah,
if you're gonna have that thorough line, which I would say was one of the goods, like you said as well, is
yeah,
that through a line of okay, we have an actual clear goal, more
mhm,
so than just monster and or lesson of the week. Like
right, yeah,
there is something for us to hold on to and actually grasp here, which is why I think the
right,
series is maybe a little bit better than people give credit
mhm,
to it for.
yeah,
Although having to binge and trudge through the entire series to figure that out
yeah,
is
yeah,
I
yeah,
see why it's where it's at in the
mhm.
Stargate fandom for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, it's nothing to do with Stargate really except for a couple little things.
oh, barely,
Yeah,
barely, which is why it would be
yeah.
better
I mean, you
probably.
don't even need to watch it. I'm just like, I just thought we should at least go over it once since it has the name Stargate attached to it.
Oh, a thousand
Yeah.
percent. And
Mhm.
now that we know it's our show, we
Oh, yeah.
got Seattle and Harrison in there.
Yeah,
Neither one of our actual names, but close enough.
right. Yeah.
Locations and extra letters, we're fine.
Yeah, yep, yep.
Uh, I, I, okay. Just while we're talking about those characters, how did
Mhm.
you feel about the characters of the show? Was there one that was your favorite? Harrison was my favorite. I use my favorite just by reading everything. Duh.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
but
Harris Harrison was the most fun. It's hard to say. I mean, Seattle was interesting because she had, who was it? Was it Stanley's that said, they're like Deanna Troy? Well, you wouldn't know because you don't know Star Trek, but Deanna Troy was like an empath in Star Trek.
ah,
So they kind of made, Seattle sort of like that, and then her and Draga had that psychic connection or whatever.
which
Um,
went so far. Sorry.
yeah, that was a little convenient sometimes. Her powers and their abilities and all that was a little like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought the characters were
Um,
fine. My favorite was Harrison, obviously. Who was your least favorite? Who was your least favorite?
um, Probably Draga.
Oh,
Even though
really?
she had
Okay.
powers and stuff, she was interesting, but I don't know. She
I
was
see.
just.
I thought.
I
Sorry, go
think
ahead.
Gus was probably. Well, I don't know if but I think Gus was probably my favorite, the commander guy. I think I
Okay.
liked him the best. Draga. I don't know. I don't like how they use Draga. I don't know if she's necessarily my least favorite. I just don't like how she was kind of there as a convenience, and they just used her powers when they needed to wrap up the story quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
half the time she should have been
Yeah.
flying around with Harrison in the sky instead of sitting on the back of some,
Right.
what was it, RATV or truck or Viper, whatever they named
Yeah,
everything.
whatever the ATV thing, yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
It was just there was some odd decision making with her for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
The hot young dude, annoying as he was like Johnny Storm. That was the best part. He was the only one who actually had a true personality. I thought the most annoying
Yeah.
was it Stacy or Casey?
Stacy.
Stacy. And it's just
Yeah,
because she didn't have a personality. All she did was
right.
be anti-Harrison the entire show. That was the character. It was like just be the foil, essentially, but not like a true
Right.
foil.
Yeah.
It's
That's
like,
another
all right.
funny thing I thought about the tattoo episode where it was like such this big deal. It's like you have a tattoo on the side of your head. What's the deal
Like,
with the
come
tattoos? I was
on.
like, I don't get it. She's got like triple piercings in both ears, a shaved head with the tattoo on it, and then you're gonna be all worried about getting a tattoo. I was like, I just thought it was odd.
Oh, and here's Uncle Gus over here saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
she wouldn't make any of these brash decisions." As you see a head full of brash decisions on her, like,
Exactly. Yeah,
oh,
she saw all this stuff and she was like, "Well, I don't always, I do stuff dangerous or something." It's like everything you've been doing this whole series is dangerous. Like, what are you talking about? That you don't make dangerous, rash decisions. It's like,
and also you were in the Stargate program before you even got to all this craziness.
right,
Half of
exactly.
that requires dangerous, brash decisions. Usually
Mhm.
calculated, but brash
Yeah.
nonetheless.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's. I don't know how to feel about the show. I don't think it's as
Mhm.
bad as that like 3.3 or 3.5 user rating or whatever it is. But I
Right.
don't think it's all that much higher necessarily either.
No, it fits about there. I think it's just they could have made it a little more Stargatey. It seemed like we're just going to call it Stargate, so we have this convenient device for us to travel around the galaxy and have Monster of the Week.
Yeah.
But they don't even do a great job of um, explaining the Stargate program. It's just in the that was the thing I forgot of too. That's one of the worst things about this show too is that opening song, the intro song.
What? I honestly thought that was the best part.
I
I
mean, it
could jam out
explains
to that
kind of what
song.
the Stargate is, I guess. But they don't explain what the Stargate is except for that little intro song. And if you're not
That's a
paying
good point.
attention to it, you wouldn't even like. But oh, that song was bad. I was so glad there was skip intro button.
I mean, I skipped it 99% of the time, but I did watch it. I made sure I watched it in the first one and the last one. And then,
Yeah.
just while having it on in the background, it kind of played a couple of times. But
Hmm.
I,
Yeah.
I would say the intro would have been one of the good parts, actually. That might be a little of a
Yeah.
differing there, but
Well, kind of the style of the intro was okay. The animation of it was okay. It was just the song itself was bad.
see, I thought it was catchy. It was Stargate Infinity. I was every time I was like, okay, we're getting into it, and then the show would start, and I just, all right, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Uh,
Well, and that
Probably
was
one
the
of the
other through line too was, trying to clear his name from the shape Nephestus setting him up or whatever.
yeah, between the Tlalocan just plot point, the overarching plot
Mhm.
point, between Gus needing to clear his name of Stargate, which totally happened so well. Oh my god, such a
Yeah, they
great
didn't
resolution.
resolve it. They didn't resolve it at all.
No,
Like, they
he has
almost did.
one conversation.
Yeah, and that was with the Nephestus or whatever, right? Like, told them, like,
Yeah,
everything was okay, and then it was or were they? Or I don't even know. So
and
I
then
think it's
Nephestus was a good
unresolved.
overarching.
I
Yeah, I
think when
agree.
it's unresolved, that part of it, because they were like, continuing, so obviously you could see where the rest of the series, if they got another season, where it was going to go. They were just going to keep traveling around and,
Which
it'd be cool to see,
realistically,
like, if they did anything with the ancients or whatever, would have been interesting to see, I guess, but I
well,
get why they didn't make more.
1,000%. If
Yeah.
they would have made a season 2, I could see how it could have become a decent show. But
Mhm.
hey, Gigwise, how you doing? Yeah, we haven't caught us in a while, and now we're talking Stargate Infinity, everyone's
Yeah.
favorite.
Yep, everyone's favorite Stargate. Here we go.
We did just trudge through the entire thing, and now we're deciphering it, we're dissecting it, we're
Yeah.
doing all of it.
Mhm. Would we want an animated Stargate show now? Like if they did it right, like with,
Oh,
the 3D animation and everything.
10,000%. That was,
And
I
would
think, the
we
biggest
want
takeaway.
would we want, you know, Daniel, Sam, all those guys in it, or would we want a new cast of characters? Maybe have them in, pop in once in a while or something.
I would say definitely not. I don't want them in there. Maybe popping
Yeah.
in.
Mm-hmm.
I just worry that having them in the show as the leads would take away from other Stargate, because they
Yeah, I think
obviously
so.
are struggling to figure out exactly how to correlate a lot of these things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'd like them to have a little bit of freedom. It's animation. Give them a little freedom to do some fun stuff,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and should they do it maybe like or maybe they should do it like an anime style.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Mhm.
Honestly, I know we talk about a Jaffa prequel and stuff like that, but an animated
Yeah.
Jaffa show would be really fun.
Oh yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
Explore the galaxy a little bit, show some of the Milky Way, show some of the Pegasus.
Mhm.
Ooh, do a Attack on Titan style Janai show in the Pegasus.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
Attack on Titan's a pretty darn dark anime.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Maybe tone it down a little bit. Yeah.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
the Janai are the Janai.
Yeah.
I guess they wouldn't have to tone it up much if they try to just keep it in that vein, that PG-13 to TV-14 almost, just kind of
Right.
right
Mhm.
next to each other, teetering that
Young
line.
adult, not
Hmm.
kid kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you should probably be a little you should have a slightly developed brain to watch this, so it doesn't mess
Yeah.
up a pre-developed brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway from Infinity was that it made me want an actual animated Stargate show, but
Mhm.
it needs to be given, like any new Stargate show, a little bit of not just time and effort, but love and care.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
needs that TLC, tender love and
Mhm.
care.
Yeah.
What what was the most Stargate thing you can think of about Infinity outside of them actually utilizing Stargates?
Uh, is there anything? I guess them helping. They'd go to these different planets and help
Mm-hmm.
the aliens on the planet fight whatever, what was the Tulak Khan or creatures just from their own world or whatever. Of course, sometimes they cause the problems like
Yeah,
Seattle did with that energy beast or whatever. But
she,
um
she's the definition of not unintended consequences, but good intentions pave the road to hell sometimes.
mhm.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Seattle.
Yeah, and then the whole lesson of like, I should have told you about this creature, but I thought I could take care of it or whatever. It was dumb. But anyway, uh, um, some of the aliens that they came up with were interesting. Some of
Yeah.
them looked a lot alike, but
What
so
did you
like
think
that.
about Echo?
I liked Echo actually,
Me
which
too.
makes me think of another point, and he's like half human, which doesn't look very human. Maybe just his voice. I don't know. It was this weird, like, where's the human? I guess he didn't have as many spikes or something as like the original aliens. Um, but
Yeah.
that brings up another thing about Echo is we get flashbacks of him as a kid being made fun of by human kids at school. So does that mean the Stargate is known?
Yes, yes. One of the big things in this
Oh,
series is the
yeah,
Stargate is an open public thing,
yeah,
which is one of the reasons I'm not a big fan of it being in the 2024 to 2027 range, realistically.
right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, Brad has always said that he was kind of planning on making it an open sourced project at a certain point. So maybe Brad did have slight definition of slight fingers in the pie over here.
Yeah, I know I didn't look close at the people behind it, but I didn't see any names I've ever seen before in the
No, me
credits.
either.
And I'm
The
looking at
only
it right now. Yeah. No.
the only thing familiar was MGM.
Yeah.
Alex said so. Gigwise said I've never heard of Infinity. It is an animated series from 2002. It's Stargate. It's something.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, and if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it there also.
All right,
But,
and it's on Tubi, I think, as well.
mhm.
So the episode I'm on, Echo's voice has changed. Does it stay like that going forward? Because the episodes so far portraying very much trying to emulate Teal'c. He's almost more Sam than Teal'c.
Yeah, he's like the scientist. Yeah, they should have had. They didn't really have like a Daniel. I mean, maybe Seattle was like the closest thing to that, but yeah.
Or Gus, like,
Oh yeah,
which is kind of odd.
yeah, his stupid dad jokes and stuff all the time.
Yeah, he was somewhere between Jack and Daniel. Gus was, or he was almost more between Cam and Daniel in a way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That or Harrison was just Cam Jr.
Yeah, yeah. Harrison is definitely the Cam. Was Stacy more like a Vala then? I guess, kind of. But she wasn't mischievous though. She just was kind of snarky.
I don't want to be mean, but Stacy was completely and utterly useless.
Mm-hmm.
Like I haven't disliked a character in a while, but that one was just like, oh
Yeah, she
wow,
really didn't do a lot except for she was, Gus's niece or whatever.
yeah. And if
But
that's the biggest
yeah,
part of your personality that is shown, besides just being an antithesis to the fun person in the
right.
group,
And her character would yell. She'd be like talking, and all of a sudden be yelling about stuff, and you're like, "Whoa! Like, what is going on there?" Like, she would just like all of a sudden be yelling about things, and you're like, "What is that?"
relax, Bonner, relax.
Exactly.
Good or not, I have to watch Infinity now. Gigwise says, hey, we agree. That's why we kind of watched
Yeah.
it. It was like, it's definitely not the cream of the crop for Stargate.
No,
Nonetheless,
it's Stargate in name only.
it's Stargate, so we did our due diligence,
Mm-hmm.
Did that due diligence make me want to butt my head against a wall sometimes?
Yes.
Yes.
I did like the friendly spider aliens. Those were kind of cool.
That was one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
I wish we had a little bit more, because there is that thorough line we keep mentioning, but I wish we would have had, you get your Braytax and you get your Janai in SGA, and you get a couple, I guess, recurring like characters in SGU. Everybody's got recurring characters to some degree, except Infinity. And I feel like I guess the Keel, but the enemy I'm not really counting as that. I wish there was a side character that would have come back once or twice, besides Nephestus, because he's just kind of part of that bad guy group.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I mean, we do get to see Echo's home planet or whatever, which is kind of.
That's pretty neat. I wish they would have made it clear if we were still inside the Milky Way or the Pegasus or something like that, though.
Right. Yeah, because they kind of make you think for a minute, when they find that abandoned ship, it turns out to be just a trap to get them to the Talat Khan's home planet. But
it's a trap. Surprise.
Yeah. Kind of fell for that a little easy. But they had 20 minutes, so there was a lot of like big jumps and stuff. But
Yeah,
it worked for but that like I said, early 90s kids cartoons did that. That's the way they worked, you know?
they did. I feel like they did it just a little bit with a
Mhm.
little bit more poise, maybe. But
Yeah. Mhm.
this would have been fine if it would have come at the same time as if this were to come right after the Stargate movie.
Right. Yeah,
I would have
exactly.
cheered it on. You know,
Mhm.
I wasn't alive, I guess, to cheer it on at the time, but I would have
Right.
cheered it on in retrospect.
Yeah.
Um,
But it should have been 100 years in the future. I don't think 30 years is enough.
no.
I mean, even now, if we think, okay, what's technology going to be 30 years from now? I mean, I guess with AI, who knows? But you know,
Who
um,
knows?
but I don't know if we're going to be, flying around like Falcon or whatever in 30 years. But anyway,
Yeah. Alex did just bring up a good point. Yep. Same. Oh, some of those editing jumps for mind-boggling are what? Some of those editing jumps for mind-boggling. Like, how is a kid supposed to follow that? Um,
yeah,
that is a great point. I thought that this was almost made for not middle schoolers or something like that, but I think it felt like it was made for middle schoolers in animation and subject matter. And then the way they approached well, here's your lesson of the week. And we're going to make sure the bad guys get what they deserve, but also they're going to learn a lesson too. But they're too hot headed and pig headed to realize it. So
mhm,
maybe the second guy's going to maybe suggest something every now and then. But our heroes are going to be good and they're going to
right,
get out okay at the end of the day. That
right.
approach felt quite literally elementary, dear Watson. But,
Yeah, I think it felt very much like elementary school kid kind of thing. Mm,
which even though the animation wasn't great,
yeah.
the animation and then we're talking about there are literal we go through slavery, we go through there's essentially that shepherd guy plays like a Mayborn like character that ends up taking over a whole planet after he quote unquote
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
retires,
Yep.
which he
Yeah.
should have been coming back.
Yeah, they
He
should
should
have
have
brought him
came
back.
back.
But he was like, "Oh, I'll just go off into the stars and whatever. I learned my lesson," which that happened very quickly.
Yeah,
You become,
and
and it's like, okay.
they re-accept him as a good guy pretty darn quickly too
Yeah,
there.
that's what I thought too. I was like, that's a little odd. Like that quickly, they're just gonna buy that he's turned around after being becoming the dictator of this planet.
Oh,
He's just
legitimately, let me
I mean,
get this
what did
big old
he I mean,
statue built.
obviously, he must have done some not good things, and they're just immediately like, "Oh, you're good now because you realize that that's bad." It was a little bit like, okay, little kid thing, to believe
Yeah,
that people can turn that fast or whatever.
it
Yeah.
it didn't seem like
Mhm.
he was realistically that bad of a leader. It just kind of seemed like he was an asshole. But
Yeah.
also, it seemed like maybe he got that leadership position from the Keel and the Tlacons to some degree, but they don't really clarify it either.
Right. Oh, yeah, and that's right, he made that deal to turn him in. I don't think I would be,
Oh
so quick
yeah,
to
you got
say
screwed
he's
over
a
by
good
them, so
he's a
now you're our
friend.
buddy.
Yeah, exactly. I
Gus
don't buy
invites
that.
him to join with him. He's like, "Hey, you shouldn't go. Come be part of our team." It's like,
Right.
why? What?
Exactly, no. You should
That's a big old
well, they
negatory.
couldn't send him to Stargate Command, I guess, but that's what they should want to do, but because
Yeah, I mean,
obviously this guy committed a crime or 2, probably. I
they
mean, they
should
were
be
afraid of
trying.
him, you know?
Yeah, they should be trying to send him back to maybe even clear their own names a little bit and say, hey, like, this guy's been doing bad stuff and it's been putting a bad spin on humanity across the galaxy to some degree.
Right.
Here's a peace offering. And even if that should have been their mindset, and they should have come to the realization that, oh, yeah, we obviously don't have the right codes anymore. If we send him back
Mhm,
to Stargate Command, he will literally just become a splat on the iris.
mhm.
So that's a good just moral dilemma to actually talk to the kids about. And you know what? That epitomizes the frickin' diamond lesson there, too, is,
Mhm.
okay, so how do we get out of here whenever someone betrays you? Oh, they do one good thing, so they're your friend again now. It's like that's not
Yeah.
the lesson you try to give, but it's the lesson that comes across to the kid watching it, I think.
Right. They should always believe it, the good in people, and instead of the thing of what is it when someone shows you who they are, believe that, believe them,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah. Yep.
I've got so many mixed emotions about the show. I really do want to like it. It just
Hmm.
does enough legwork and groundwork to keep me from liking it.
Yeah, it's just a little too. If it was a little more grown up and the animation was better, and
Well,
they
and,
didn't
and
make it
honestly,
so the moral story so in your face.
mhm, it kind of, which I hate to say, we're 23 years after 2002, but
Hmm.
it feels like we're in the same problem right now with whatever the new show, new movie, whatever MGM and Amazon decide to ultimately do with Stargate. It
Right.
shows that they've had this hesitation and
Hmm.
not necessarily clear guide for the future set up for a long time,
Oh yeah. Hmm.
which obviously was imminent when SGA and SGU were out there and they're like, oh yeah, just cancel this one and we'll do one season here, one season,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, they should have. I mean, I guess there was financial problems going on at MGM that they couldn't do it, but it would have been nice to get if they would have done like one more season of Atlantis and SGU like at the same time, so we'd get like a good closeout of Atlantis and I don't know.
or just do the
Uh,
Atlantis TV movie real quick, like they mentioned doing.
oh yeah, yeah, they should have,
That would have been a perfect little
but there just wasn't the money to do it. I guess they had to shut everything down, which sucks.
yeah.
So
Do
it
you
wasn't like it got shut down because it wasn't necessarily like that it got shut down because it was bad. It was just there wasn't any money, which sucks.
yeah,
That nobody
and
wanted to pick it up.
with creative accounting in Hollywood, which there's plenty of,
Yeah.
they could have done a TV movie.
Hmm.
They could have done a TV movie. Oh, really? I was just getting a phone call. You couldn't hear a bunch of reggae music in the background, right?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Okay, good, good, good. I just realized my buddy who was calling me is from Seattle. Surprise.
Oh,
Speak of the devil and the location.
uh-huh. Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, it's it just shows, I guess, that what is the word I'm looking for? I guess the incongruence of thought from Stargate creators. Um,
Yeah, that they didn't try to make it more connect. But I guess they're like, oh, this is for kids. We just want to borrow this element of it so we
mhm.
can make the story make sense. But we're not going to give a crap if it ties into anything else because kids aren't if kids watch the movie or the television series, probably not. So then,
It
like,
was
what's the point anyway?
well, yeah, and
So, mhm.
literally what you just said added on to what we were saying a minute ago is it elementary school that this was going for? Is it middle schoolers this was going for? Is it younger kids? Is it kind of younger high schoolers or where are we going for? And
Right.
realistically, I don't necessarily, I love the artistic aspect of film and I hang my hat and go a little artsy fartsy every now and then, but
Mhm.
I'm from oil country. I like money too, and I understand that these things are projects and products as much as they are projects. If you
Right.
understand that, what age range are you trying to really get into sci-fi like that? Especially with a bunch of larger world things going on,
Right.
introducing new things every episode. You almost want them to be a little bit older so there's more, I guess, brain power to digest all that.
Yeah.
The animation was just so elementary again. When
Mhm.
come on, just this would have been a really good show for middle schoolers to jump into SG1 or jump into SGA or
Yeah.
SGU or something
Yeah.
like that because
They
that's
should
the
have
right age range.
they should have tied it in a lot more than they did. So,
I'm okay not even tying it in as long as it introduces the right concepts and everything like that, which very loosely I think it does. But it I don't want to say. I will say it's a care thing. I just don't think they cared about it, and I think a lot of Stargate has been cared for, and a lot of Stargate has not been cared for. And I think Stargate is very much cared for by the people that create it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Brad and everybody else, Joseph Malazzi, all the DeLuises, all the usual suspects.
Yeah.
But MGM has never really cared for it outside of a cash cow. And I think MGM has heralded Stargate and maybe cared for it more so than a lot of other larger companies have with their IP.
Yeah.
There's only really been one kind of sorry Origins Catherine there, but there's only been one quote unquote crappy little Stargate show made just to push forward the IP and retain the IP within the company. Most companies have to do that every 5-10 years, and MGM's at least loved the product and projects enough to keep that going and keep the IP close to home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, if they cared enough about it, is a whole different story about the actual canon, about the actual story plots and arcs that have happened and should happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a different animal because they're only focused on the cash cow aspect of it. And I do worry that Amazon's the same way. I think they're smart enough to know that they need that, which is part of their hesitation.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Again, I don't know if there's someone over there that truly cares enough, and they keep seemingly pushing away the people that do care, like the Hawk Otsbys and Mark Ferguses and such.
Right. And who's the other person? Anyway, I lost track of it. Yeah. The guy who's head of MGM Plus or whatever. What's his name?
Mike Wright?
Yeah. He seems to really care about it as well.
Yes, come on.
Yeah.
Those three, I think, are our best hope.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since we're in the animation vein of things, obviously there's that Stargate Universe continuation film everybody always talks about once. I don't know if that'd be. I think that just is such a heavy weight on the Stargate fans' minds that would probably be a good way to avoid coming back in, as well as it would be a good way to do it, because there are a lot of fun ways to do it, and it would be almost the easy route.
Right.
But I think it runs the risk of being a little too easy and ending up something like this. If obviously we mentioned I guess a Jaffa animated show, but I wouldn't mind something like Stargate Infinity, because we start off with a bunch of recruits doing recruit things and starting off and all right, well, we're going through Stargate. Was it Academy or what was there was a whole thing going on. It would have been a better show, or I guess it could be a better show to have that actual Academy. I'm saying a whole bunch and reworking my brain in a few ways right here, but it would be nice to have that Stargate Academy show with those cadets that we've talked about. Not necessarily Jennifer Haley and all those. Obviously, that's would have aged out, and those people might be our main SG teens or something like that nowadays. It'd be really neat to have that middle school type show to bring people into Stargate.
Right.
Taking people through the cadet training.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's we almost got that, and we totally could have gotten more of that throughout other seasons of Infinity. It almost would have been better. Sorry, go for it.
Oh, no, just, you could have the cadets, you could have situations where, the cadets have to be kind of thrown into the thick of it for whatever reason. It could be fun.
It'd be great.
That side of it more in more detail.
Talk about learning lessons there that would actually make sense, because you'd have some. It wouldn't just be, we have Major Gus Bonner with us, but he's also my uncle, and he's my hero, and he's this, and it's much less that, and it's more, all right, well, it's military, and we're going to get you a good lesson in here real quick. Hey, if you're ever in a bad situation, this could happen, and this could happen on top of that. So what are you going to do about it? And stuff like that. And because I think Stargate's so great about that. Typically, it just infinity.
Yeah, yeah. It's there.
Yep,
Kind of
I'm at a loss for words.
doesn't really fit in. It's just it's almost like just take Stargate out of it. It's just like a sci-fi cartoon for kids.
Literally, and there are elements that kind of like there's staff weapons that I can't even say it. Tlacan use.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like exactly. And they use some of the same sound, like the Zat sound effect was used a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So there's little things like that. And they did actually try to mix in like a little real science into it. Like there would be parts where Echo what described like how a volcano works or whatever. There was a couple like that where they got into like, let's do a little science lesson. And it's like, are you trying to do moral stories, science lessons, a bit of both? It was just kind of a little confused.
Yeah, and I honestly thought the science lessons worked a lot better than a lot of the little moral dilemmas they put themselves in.
Oh yeah, it would have been
Because
better
it's
to
a
make it
sciencey show.
and like make it more lean into more of like an educational sciencey kind of cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That
Yeah.
Take over the Bill Nye Science Guy kind of crowd and
Yeah.
bring them into their young adulthood in a way, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So MGM, Amazon, if y'all decide to go animated kid show again, you know what we need, and you know what not to do this time.
Mhm.
Okay. Thought little experiment here.
Uh-huh.
MGM is doing something crazy. Prime has decided to do something absolutely crazy.
Okay.
They're bringing Stargate Infinity back. They're making a season 2.
Hmm.
And they are going to set it like 100, 150 years in the future, something like that. Some arbitrary number that is in the distance.
Right.
Do you think there is enough overarching plot that they have? And if they worked more truly Stargate elements back into it, that could be a worthwhile investment of time to watch, not just for us, but for young kids that would get them into Stargate
Hmm. I think it's possible.
and updated animation,
You
of
could have a
course.
thing where some, what was it, solar flare happened or whatever, and they jump through the gate and it's like 100 more years in the future. So you could add that extra element, so then it becomes them trying to get back to their own time, maybe, or something. Um,
That'd be kind of fun.
mhm,
As long because it
yeah,
has the elements I think it needs to have to be a good Stargate show. Even
mhm,
it just decides not to utilize it time and time again.
right, yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of, like, how would
Well,
you fix it, I guess, I don't know.
I think you would have to retcon the 30 years. You'd have to say it was
Yeah,
already like 100 years in the future or something like that.
right,
But maybe a solar
yeah,
flare would bring them back to the past a little bit too. Maybe not just the future.
mhm,
And that could correlate with little modern Stargate just a little bit, and
right, where
it
they
maybe even
somehow
influence.
they need to they have to infiltrate the SGC of the past to do something, and so then we see all the known characters that they're, just around while they're trying to do whatever it is they need to do on the base to, like, change the future or something, you
Oh
know?
yeah, like
But
they would have to go back through the Stargate, and back then the only Stargate was in the middle of Cheyenne Mountain. So
right. Mhm,
that may make some sense, and
mhm,
would be fun.
mhm.
Oh, I keep streaming, y'all. I keep getting phone calls for multiple Alexes. I literally have 2 different Alexes in the last like 10 minutes. That's funny.
Huh,
But yeah, I feel like the show has enough to it
mhm,
that it could really not only benefit Stargate by bringing in a younger crowd. If we're talking about the hypothetical season 2 that would actually maybe be given a little bit more effort, and by a little bit I mean a lot of it.
Yeah, animation improvement, first time.
1,000%.
Right.
But with the Tlon being that almost like Mayan Gua'uld in a sense,
Yeah.
there's something there that really could be utilized in not just the third line of Infinity, but the third line of all Stargate there, where,
Mhm.
all right, well, here these guys are, but
Yeah.
that is easier said than put together nowadays, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Scott, how's it going? We're just talking a little Stargate Infinity. Or I guess all Stargate Infinity.
Yeah, that wonderful show that is supposedly Stargate.
Yeah.
How would you do the Tlon if you were going to do them in the live action version? I suppose nowadays they would just be like CGI creations, maybe.
That, or you can even just, I mean, well, yes, ultimately, yeah, but you just kind of put
Mm-hmm.
a big old kind of bodysuit on someone. I think you
Right.
just kind of have big shoulder pads and maybe kind of a helmet of some sort.
Right, or do kind of a mix of practical CGI thing to make it look cool. Yeah.
That'd probably be the cheapest and most efficient way to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
The
Like,
staff
I
and
mean,
cat weapons sounded right.
they're kind
Aircraft
of
thing
doing
sounded
that
like,
with
yeah.
Alien Earth. I've seen, like some behind the scenes stuff. Like some of it's CGI, some of it's practical stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Which makes total sense. New
Yeah.
episode tomorrow. I'm so excited.
No, it's on, or it was on last night. I watched it.
Oh, is it Tuesdays?
Yes, it's Tuesdays.
I thought it was Thursdays.
No, it's Tuesdays. So I watched it last night.
Oh.
So it was like, oh, so good. Just every episode. It's like, oh, last night's was so good. Anyway.
Well, all right. This was a great episode of Stargate Outpost. We will
Yeah.
see y'all Friday.
Yeah, for Alien Earth. I know, which I got to shoot my video later today. But anyway.
Heyo. Oh, let me see if I can bring it up. Y'all know what to do.
You got to pimp my thing,
Y'all know what to do.
Yeah.
I just got to find it, and I'm going to keep saying it till I can find it. Y'all know what to do.
Yeah.
And go check out old Stormy channel while you're at it, too.
Yep.
But y'all know what to do. Okay, there we go. Any new details out? Any new details yet? No, nothing yet, Scott.
Just more delay, but
we have figured out.
The word is it will happen. It's just the when, and is it going to
How?
go long enough that it's continuation or a reboot? I hope they do continuation. I think even if everybody's like, I don't know, hopefully in the next year something happens. But we've been saying that for what, 3 years now? 4 years now?
2.5, 3 years, yeah. Post the channel details in chat.
Yeah.
Oh, they should be. Well, I guess not chat. Yeah. Look in the description of the video and then scroll down to where you see check out Sarah's channel, and then it should say Sarah_6226, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Or you can just search in the search bar Sarah_6226, and then you can also put the filter on that says channel, so it specifies that you're searching for a channel rather than just a video or something like that.
Right. I would live chat, but for some reason, it's not letting me.
That very well might be just this darn phone. I've never the streaming off of here is so odd.
Yeah. No, I mean chat. I mean everybody else is putting chat, but I can't access it for some reason. The little thing that says open panel is grayed out. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know if it's a setting or what. Anyway, don't need.
That's probably just all this phone stuff.
Maybe.
Which, I don't know. I'm gonna have to fix my laptop by Friday if this is going on. Just Stargate Infinity. If you had to give it your 1 out of 10, what would you give it? The regular user rating and I guess the overall like Rotten Tomatoes are pretty equidistant at like 34, 35%.
Right. 3.5.
Okay. I think I'm going to actually give it a little bit of leeway. I'm going to give it a solid 4. I'd give it a 40%. Just because there's enough in there for me to jump on. And I do like the overarching plot.
Mm-hmm.
It is just a bore to get through each episode.
Yeah, because it's a little bit like, kids stuff.
Well, and this is coming from the only show that I rewatch every single year is Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. I guess that's 2, but those are TV Y7. They're technically for 7-year-olds, but
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of death and there's a lot of bad things going on in there, a lot of war-torn things and things like that. But I think that just goes to show that if you treat your audience with respect, and even if they are kids, you can make a kid show that is not only going to stand the test of time, but maybe be one of the best written things maybe ever to some degree.
And there's a way to do kid shows that have stuff in it for adults. Like,
yes,
this is a funny example, but SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, 1,000%.
There's a lot of like adult humor in it when you watch it. It's funny.
Yeah, I mean,
stuff that kids wouldn't catch, but it's like in there. So it's like they kind of make it throw in some stuff for adults too.
It just makes more sense that way because it focuses on good writing rather than did we check this box here? Is this Stargate enough? All right, good enough. Let's just drop it. Yeah. Yeah, because my brain was going into the like Clone Wars or Avatar where there's a bunch of death going on. Clone Wars, people are getting beheaded all the time, but TV Y7, but it's just as much in SpongeBob. Like you could have gone the adult humor route rather than, and you don't have to make it too adult one way or another. It just could have been cared for more. And with a little bit more care, I think the themes that they introduced, which are heavy themes, should have been given that time and effort to actually teach the lessons they're trying to in a meaningful way rather than, well, here's your lesson of the week. See you next week, Yeah,
and like when you have a 20-minute episode, it's hard to do that. It's kind of like, why do that? I mean, you can do that without having the so obvious explanation at the end of the episode. This is what the moral of the story is. It's like we don't need it that obvious.
we don't need Major Gus Bonner to take one of the multiple kids that's learning the lesson for this episode off to the side so they don't have to get embarrassed by their friends and put his arms on their shoulders and say, "Oh, Seattle. Oh, Stacy. Oh, Harrison. Oh, Echo. This was a good learning experience, Sonny, and we got it next time. Just remember that." And then just keeps going on like nothing else ever happened. I'm just it doesn't care like a Legend of Korra or an Avatar would. And yes, Alex, the Legend of Korra I got to do every year because season 2 might not be all that great. Season 1 I think is awesome. Season 4 I think is awesome as well. I think they both get a lot of flack. Season 3 is every bit as good as anything Avatar. Zahir is maybe the singular best Avatar villain they've ever done. Now, Avatar the show outdoes Legend of Korra 10 times out of 10. But in Legend of Korra, there are some really great aspects of it that I think get glossed over through some of the mundanity. And
I haven't seen any. Well, I watched some of the live action series, like first couple, I don't remember, 3 or 4 episodes of it.
Oh yeah.
But and what I saw, I thought it was okay, but I'm not that into it to know how that compares to the gold standard of the original animated or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I was also 6 whenever the original show came out, so I watched it all the way through, and it's literally the only show I might have watched every single year ever since. It's a kid show, and it's not Game of Thrones level writing or anything, but sometimes it's actually better, and sometimes it's definitely not. But there's not 30 different plot points they're trying to reach. There's 7 to 10, and those 7 to 10 are a lot more attainable in 3 well laid out seasons rather than. All right, we got renewed for another. What can we put in this one? Oh yeah, we still have this dangling plot thread. Let's finish that one up. And
Yeah.
That's what this felt like. This Stargate Infinity felt much
Mhm.
more of the vein of, oh yeah, I forgot we introduced that plot line. Oh, that might be good in like a later season. Let's not mention it again. We'll just
Right.
do a little lesson of the week right now.
Yeah.
And don't ever count your chickens before they're in the coop. You know, because that's
Yeah, I
what they
don't
did.
think this whole season, I don't think a single thing was resolved, was it? Except for like the
No,
monster of the week things. But the overarching stories were not completed at all. They're just left
like
hanging. You know?
they make it back to Earth in the last episode. Oops, sorry, spoilers, but yeah, what can you
Right.
do?
Who cares? It doesn't really matter that much,
Realistically,
believe me.
no. They make it back to Earth
Yeah.
for absolutely nothing to have. Nothing happens, I guess, ultimately at the end of the episode. All they do is just
Right.
go right back on a mission. Or not even a mission, I guess. Just they're running again.
Yeah, it's like instead of like trying to find another way to anyway.
Spoiling everything. Monk, you might want it spoiled instead of
Right.
having to go back and trudge
Right.
through infinity.
Well, yeah, and then
Oh,
they also introduced that Draga, is that her name again? I always forget.
yeah.
Draga can like intuitively know where to dial the gate to the right place or whatever. So, like, where were they going to go with that anyway? Like,
It
they couldn't get back to Stargate Command. Like, there was no, it was like that was just dumb. That they were just like, well, I guess we'll give up for now and just keep traveling the universe. Okay.
which I don't know if that's a great message to send out to the kids either. Oh, just give
Right.
up and
Yeah.
when the whole time,
Mhm.
one of the overarching plot lines in the show that is the lesson is it's not try again. Don't just keep aimlessly trying something over and over again. It beats you
Right.
over the head with the definition of insanity is
Right.
without telling you what insanity is, but it just says like don't do it over and over again. You do the same thing over and over again, you're going to kind of go crazy. Like the Keel and all
Yeah.
these other Tuclans over there.
Yeah, when Harrison
But,
was learning how to ride that, whatever that flying beast was, it was like a giant eagle or something, whatever it was.
Eagle Dactyl.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It was a, it's like, okay.
It
Give
was a duck after all. You
up. I guess I'll have
muck.
to watch that so I can be in on the joke.
Don't do it. It's so actually the closest thing to the joke I can. I oh my god, it's making me appreciate the joke a little bit more, Monk. Just a little bit. Have you ever seen Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, the John C. Reilly movie?
No.
Oh my god, there's a great scene, which you can find the scene online. Just search Dewey Cox tries weed for the first time, and it's a comedy movie that's supposed to be in like the 60s or 70s, or maybe even earlier than that. I don't know when the actual setting is. Somewhere in that like general old kind of style rock and roll before it was truly rock and roll. It was more rockabilly than rock and roll in a lot of ways. Dewey Cox has Tim Meadows, the same guy that gets bird blindness and frickin' Peacemaker over here. He's telling him not to try marijuana, and he just starts listing all these different things off, and they're all great. And he's like, I think I kind of want to try it. By the end of it, he's like, I'm not convinced. Oh, does it do this? No, it makes this better. No, I'm not going to ruin it because it's just so great.
With my green screen never works.
Yes,
Okay.
precisely.
Yeah, okay. All right. Okay.
It's the best damn clip. And that bird joke is very much in the same vein because Tim Meadows, the guy that's talking to John C. Reilly in there, is the guy that does it in Peacemaker. But oh my God.
Oh.
It is a funny joke. It makes me laugh every time anything happens. And then I just want to like air punch the air for a few minutes afterwards because we just wasted about 7 minutes of good television. And in the producer's mind I have, it's like that's either hundreds of thousands to low millions of dollars, which you can make a few independent films for if you really are wasting all this much time in an actual episode of highly expensive TV. But it cracks me up nonetheless, Monk. So back to Infinity. I wish I had bird blindness for Infinity. The thought I had before going off on that rant right there was Draga. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Obviously not a frickin' agent. The ancients, we know who they are.
Right.
We know that they cannot open the Stargate and dial intuitively to where I'm doing my air quotes again because y'all can't see them. Are wherever they need to go. Because that's just the most wide open statement possible. Because Draga has no idea where they need to go. She just kind of is like, "This is the next space, I guess." You know.
Yeah.
It would make more sense to me if Draga was maybe not a planet builder, but was a species that existed while the planet builders existed, and
Oh yeah.
just as like almost how we have in Alien Earth, all the different species, all these 5 new species that we're getting to know.
Mm-hmm.
It would be kind of interesting if Draga was just another species on the planet builders planet, and or original planet, whatever that may be, which might have evolved over time and inherited some of the traits and so on and so forth. Because that planet would obviously be a lot different, I think, laws of physics wise, than what we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe her species was a thrall. Hey, that kind of works. A planet building thrall.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, it'd be
vampire
interesting.
thrall.
I mean, obviously, if the show went on, we would learn more about her because that was another one of the through lines of what is she really, if anything. You know, because we don't get into like why was she in the sarcophagus and all that. Yeah.
And they had an episode that they could have given us so much in.
Oh yes, yeah.
And all they did was introduce a couple little cool new powers,
Uh-huh.
which I'm always down for.
Right, and they don't
But
even
give me
really.
the no, just give me the rhyme for the reason.
Yeah.
And one thing that did annoy me was that shapeshifter episode happened earlier on, and Draga is totally sensing something's up, something's wrong, something's up. And then later on in the series, she's like, I guess Harrison and Bonner both turn into shapeshifters whenever they're in that Mayan temple that they're almost going to get imprisoned in. And she just, I can't tell. I can't tell if they were a shapeshifter or not. Stacy's like, say it anyway, even if they're not. Tell the group that they are shapeshifters. And they don't resolve that either. It's like Stacy's telling her the commanding officer of the group is telling one of her subordinates to lie to the rest of the group, even if it is real or not real, one way or another. We're not going to resolve that at all. We're just going to introduce a little bit of that and let it be. It just, like you said, I don't think there's a single damn resolution in here.
No, there isn't. Yeah, and they just like Draga's powers, abilities were just kind of all over the place. It was like they needed to kind of refine what she could do, what she can't do, but they left it kind of open-ended. So like when they needed something, they could just be like, oh, by the way, she has this power that resolves the thing.
Yeah,
It was
Draga was
an
early season Zach Gunn for Infinity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep.
But the only way the things they introduced to her and from her power set wise, I think would have to correlate back to Planet Builders if we tried to correlate it to true Stargate canon. And that just opens up another damn can of worms. Just trying to think about that, you know? It's just funky. I truly don't know what to think about Infinity yet. Besides, it's bad. I know it's not good, but
yeah,
there's too many elements of things that I think we do enjoy from a Stargate show to count it out completely. I feel like it should at least be known, but I don't know if it's worth paving all the way through it. I guess we're going to kind of run ourselves in circles trying to figure out more things to talk about Infinity. So ultimately, I guess, would you suggest this to fans of Stargate is one question. And the other question is, would you, kind of like we mentioned with Stargate Origins Catherine last week, or 2 weeks ago now, would you suggest this to maybe somebody younger to get them into Stargate?
I don't think so. I
For
don't
both
think
the questions?
what you mean Catherine versus Infinity?
No. I mean, I guess the two questions would be: would you introduce this to a younger person to introduce them to Stargate and say, "Hey, this is not like the main stuff or anything, but you're young and this has got some decent little lessons in it. Maybe it might pique your interest to get you to watch Stargate later down the road." And the other question is for like somebody, but roughly in you, I, Matt, Jamie's age range, somewhere in that range, Stormy's age range, anyone that's watched Stargate and enjoys it, would you suggest this to be a full completionist, or is it truly just so adjacent that it's not worth the time?
I would tell people I'm kind of like in the middle on that. I would tell people that it pretty much is a waste of your time, but if you want to be a completionist, watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say you don't need to. Like if you've never watched it, you wouldn't miss anything because there's no connection. There's nothing there that you need to glean from it to watch the movie and the series. For young kids, I don't know because just the animation level of it is so bad. I don't know if it would keep the attention of a young person, of a kid. In today's,
That's my thought.
considering what today's entertainment level is and where things are at now and attention spans, etc. I part of me would kind of want to have them watch it just the concept of the gate gets there, but
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think I don't know if I'd bother because I don't think any young kid today would be into it. I just don't think it would hold their attention.
Yeah, and I think the worst part about that is if you show it to a kid nowadays, I'm pretty sure the kid would never watch another show that you suggested. Is kind of where my brain goes. Is
Exactly.
like,
Yeah. Yep.
I'm kind of with you. Where I'd like to introduce it to a kid to kind of start their love of Stargate.
Mhm.
But after rewatching Catherine, I think Catherine would be a better place to send someone like
Right.
11, 12, 13 years old. If they were like, what's that Stargate show? I'd say start with the movie. But before you do
Right.
that, maybe this is kind of pique your interest. The
Right.
other stuff's always better, but this would be a good place to start. And
Maybe.
I'm 1,000% with you. Not Infinity. I'd say Catherine would be a better place to start for like a young person than Infinity.
Right. If those were the two choices, yeah, Catherine is more
I think Catherine's not a bad place to start for a young person, even before watching the movie.
right because it kind of shows it sort of fills in that gap between the movie and the TV, or from finding the gate initially to the movie. I mean, the
Yeah.
movie has that flashback at the beginning, and I think they actually even play footage from the movie at the beginning of Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, you get that from when the gate was what they found it in Gaza in 1928 or whatever. So you get a
I
little
think so.
story, backstory, sort of a little prequelish story before the movie. But of course, it's only something an audience member is going to know because they had their memories wiped or whatever. But still, it'd be a fill in a little bit of information.
Yeah. And obviously, all our SG1 teams aren't getting memories wiped. It's not Men in Black or anything like that,
Right.
by any means. But
Mhm.
I think it introduces enough of the overarching ideas of Stargate in there to kind of be a good entrance point where
Mhm.
Infinity is just so far removed from mainline Stargate with everything they do, with how they interact with one another and all of that.
Mhm.
I just don't think it's a good place. I don't think it's a good place to
Mhm.
start. I think
Yeah.
for that second question, it's like exactly what you said. It's not necessary, and it's actually a lot to trudge through.
Mhm.
But for a completionist, it is probably a decent little thing. It's not the worst thing in the world by any means. Um,
No.
it's yeah, it's no murder bot, that's for sure.
Yeah, not at all.
That
How
was
would
the
you
last.
Oh,
Sorry, go for it.
Alex's question there. But it's been a long time since I saw Star Trek, the animated series. What is it? TAS, I guess. um,
Oh yeah.
um,
How would you compare it? I've never seen it.
I would say that like the animated series is better than Infinity for sure. I think from what I remember of it, it stays, it has the main TOS characters in it. I think it stays with more truly Star Trek-y kind of stories. I mean, it's kind of cartoonized, but the level of animation isn't great, but it was kind of what animation was at the time. So, yeah.
I mean, that just if it has its own through line and it has a through line that follows the overarching story as well, I think that answers my question even without ever seeing the show. Even with the Scooby-Doo companies, campiness, excuse me.
Yeah.
Hey, little Scooby-Doo campiness ain't ever a bad thing.
Oh, in the animated series, there is some of that like Scooby-Doo, but it that was kind of like the style of animation then too, that kind of Hanna-Barbera, what was it, like late 60s, 70s cartoon style, where they'd have the goofiness, but that was just trying to make it kid friendly, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's
that would
still
make sense.
better than Infinity either way. Yeah.
Sadly,
Mhm.
most things are.
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Sadly,
Now I
but
gotta
also
watch
not
that.
all that sadly.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, I know we're kind of in the tail end of things, so I was going to try it just a little bit.
Yeah.
Real quick, just for Monk. A little Cora
Oh.
for you.
Oh, I didn't notice that before. I just thought it was like, well, you can't really tell what it is when it's kind of in the background.
Oh, that's a good point. I guess before we kind of jump out of here, any other Stargate Infinity y'all can think of, let's talk it. But
Yeah.
there we go.
Those are
We got a
cool.
wall.
I like the drawing. The style is cool. Yeah. I know. I got to start collecting stuff because someday, hopefully, I would rather have a real space than a green screen, but I'll get there someday.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I hate to do it to y'all. Sarah just reminded me of multiple things that I just, it makes more sense while it's not so laggy. We might, I can't even speak. We might have to jump out of here. We're an hour and 25 minutes into this thing. I don't think there's all that much more Stargate Infinity to talk about.
No, I think we covered it pretty well. Box checked.
So
Yeah.
we will see y'all Friday for the Radical Wasteland podcast. To infinity and beyond. Damn right,
Exactly.
Stanleys.
Yep.
We have actually a couple fun little SciTrek things to talk about behind the scenes here. So I hate to end it on y'all, but I actually might have to real quick. So thank y'all for hanging. Let us know in the chat, of course, your rating and your good, bad, and uglies for Stargate Infinity. Are you going to be a completionist and watch it if you have not yet? Or has everything we've said about it today kind of kept you from doing that? Or maybe it inspired you to be the completionist.
Yeah.
Y'all holler. Let us know. Anything else before we jump out of here, Sarah?
Nope. Hopefully Thursday or hopefully tomorrow I'll have my Alien Earth Thoughts video out. That's about it.
Y'all know Sarah _6226.
Yeah. I might have to change that. I thought it was a good idea, but I don't know. The genericness of it. Anyway.
I mean, it's got a good alliteration to it. I mean, I guess by definition it's a little generic, but it's still 6226. It works in a way. It's kind of sci-fi. It almost sounds like a ship.
Yeah, I was thinking it sounds like maybe I'm like an android, like the 6,200 and whatever, 6226, I should know it. And the 6,000 is 226, clone of Sarah or whatever,
Oh.
something like along that line, or android or whatever. But
So you're not Mickey 17. You're Mickey / Sarah 6226.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you died a few times. I thought it was the 6226 universe,
There's a
like Marvel or
6226.
something.
No, what is, I gotta look that up now. What is that?
Well, because like Marvel, all their different multiverses are like Earth 616, Earth 814, or Earth 999, or something like that.
Yeah. Could be that too. I guess it could just have it to like it's whatever you interpret it to be.
It depends on what you're talking about for the day.
So 6226 universe could refer to Earth 6226, a universe from the Marvel Comics fandom wiki where a being called the Being Above All created the universe.
Oh, okay. So you have subliminally told us that you're God.
Guess so. Then I'm keeping it for sure.
It has to stay.
Yeah.
It couldn't be anything else.
Right. Or it's the angel number 6226 if you're into that kind of thing. Which
Angel numbers and God numbers. Oh my God.
Says it signifies goodness, fortune, and the power to master one's own life. So maybe I should keep it.
I honestly, that talk about happy accidents.
I know. I'm ego maxing. Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
You have to every now and then.
Lady God. That's
Lady
on Sunday. I'll have to make a note on Sunday. I'll put that.
Yeah. You can be Queen Lady God or Lady Queen God. I don't know. There's got to be some cool alliteration to make it sound just awesome.
Lady, Queen, God, being above all.
Lady God Queen instead of God King.
Yeah.
Because weren't pharaohs considered God kings?
Yes.
So you could be our pharaoh and be a God queen.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. Halloween, you got to be either Cleopatra or Nefertiti.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure there's more. I just don't know. I wish I knew the history well enough.
I thought it should be Mon Mothma. Is that her name? Am I saying it
right?
right?
That would be so cool too, though, and it'd be a lot
have the haircut and everything. I could. Yeah.
Well, exciting things coming up.
All right.
But
I have no idea what they are. But okay.
we will plan them out, have them planned out, hopefully enact them.
Yeah.
And we won't keep you updated at all, y'all. Y'all are gonna have to just be surprised. Mm-hmm. Surprise.
Yeah.
But you're gonna be excited. So I hate to tease you like that at the end, but I love to tease you like that at the end at the same time. Oopsie daisy. But thank y'all for hanging. I know Stargate Infinity is a little bit of an oddball, but I'm glad that we have been the completionists and actually have taken the time to learn about it, dive deep into it, and
if there's anything you guys would like us to delve into in an episode, please let us know that too.
Are you saying from Stargate Infinity?
Just Stargate in general. For Stargate Outpost, episodes we could do. Topics.
1,000%.
Episodes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all holler at us because next up, I think we're planning to do our best and worst of each show. And we can always space that out and do some other things in between then because, we've already done the antithesis to that plot line of our versions of episodes. But y'all just holler.
We'll figure out what we're doing.
Yeah.
Of course, we always know what we're doing. We're totally on top of it all the time. So
1,000%. We're just we leave it open just so y'all can have more input. That's all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're definitely not. We don't scramble. We're not scrambled eggs.
Never.
We're hard boiled. Sometimes soft boiled. Maybe a little fried. But hey, it happens. Besides that, I guess, Radical Wasteland on Friday. Sunday, we have our episode with Joshua and Patton on SciTrek, Sci-Fi Sundays, of course. And I believe that's it. Farscape should be coming back this next week. We will keep y'all posted about that this Sunday. And we will see y'all very soon.
Yep. See ya.
Toodles.